Hello YouTube! Today on the Naughty Librarian, I'm doing a mostly contemporary romance book haul. I have been picking up so many romances lately, and these are like mostly contemporaries, but they're all romance. Let's just get into it. First off, I have Walk Through Fire by Kristen Ashley. This is a biker romance, and it's a second chance romance as well because I guess they got together and then it didn't work out and he rode off into the sunset, and then 20 years go by and then he shows back up and she's like, "Sup, yo," and then they get back together, I'm assuming. I also have Chasing Christmas Eve by Jill Shalvis, and Jill Shalvis is one of those authors I keep seeing all the time, and I think I should probably read because I think she's a fairly popular romance novelist. And I assume this is a Christmas romance, and I'm kind of looking forward to reading a bunch of Christmas romances closer to Christmas, so this might make my list. It's about a woman who's just overwhelmed with life. She's also a YA fantasy author, which is kind of cool. And she splits from New York to go to San Francisco, and I guess she immediately winds up in a fountain. And then a guy pulls her out of a fountain, and then love. So it's just gonna be a sweet romantic comedy, and sometimes I'm all about fluffy romantic comedies. Ooh, this isn't really contemporary because it's a classic, but hey, it's in this list anyway. This is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. For some reason, my mouth isn't making French sounds right at the moment, but Daphne du Maurier. I'm gonna give up because I know how to pronounce her name, but it's not coming out. I'm blaming wine. It's kind of a psychological thriller a little bit, but old-timey. It's it's a classic. I can spoil this. If you haven't read it by now, it's been out for a while. It's about this woman who is the second wife of this guy. And Rebecca is the first wife who's dead. And then basically she keeps getting driven nuts by the housekeeper, by saying, "You're not as good as Rebecca, you're not as good as Rebecca." And she's like, "Rebecca!" I think there's a fire too. I haven't read it, but I kind of know what it's about. I also picked up Perfect Fit by Carly Phillips. This is part of her Serendipity Finest series, and it's about a town in New York called Serendipity and hot cops. I assume hot cop saves a lady from a bad guy, because that's usually what happens. And yeah, I'm okay with hot cops every once in a while. I'll try it out. I also have The Last Man on Earth by Tracy Ann Warren. Mainly I picked this up because this is such a stock image. I have seen so many different romance novels with the same cover. This dude has been on so many different covers. And they're all romances. He's just Mr. Romance hot guy, and he's stock photo realness. Seriously, I can think of another book off the top of my head. It's Arm Candy by Jessica Lemon, and he's on the cover too. Look it up, it's the same guy. So I'm just gonna read the little top blurb here because it's perfect. From New York Times best-selling author Tracy Ann Warren comes a sexy and romantic new contemporary series about corporate combat in the boardroom and under-the-covers passion in the bedroom. I think that says all it needs to say. It's it's an office romance, and I'm assuming he's the CEO, and then some girl. I don't know if she's. Is this gonna be a boss romance? Oh, good, it's not a boss romance. She's a CEO and he's a CEO business rival, and then I assume they fuck out their aggression. I also found The Heart of a Killer by J.C. Burton. I was really excited to find this because the only books I've read from J.C. Burton are her play-by-play series, and those are all sport romances. Again, they're all contemporaries as well, but I had never read something else by her, so this was kind of cool. This is romantic suspense, so I'm assuming there's a killer because it's in the title. Ooh, it's a special forces guy and a police detective woman, and I'm assuming they're hunting a killer and, fucking their aggression out. That's gonna be my new thing I say. It's tickling me. I also found 2 more books by Lori Foster. I have so many books by Lori Foster and I never read them. I don't have enough time, but I keep collecting them. So there's that. First I have Forever Buckhorn, and this is, I'm assuming, a cowboy contemporary romance. And then I have Unbelievable which is a regular romance. So these are both contemporaries. This one, I'm assuming, doesn't have cowboys. Oh, this one sounds cool. It's about this woman, and it's her birthday, and her sister buys her a romantic getaway for lovers. And she's like, I don't have a boyfriend. She's like, don't worry about it, I hired you one. So it's like sexy vacation with this guy, and I'm like all about the premise. I'm kind of liking it a lot. I'm into it. And this is just a regular like enemies to lovers cowboy romance, but it takes place in Kentucky, and you know, my boyfriend's from Kentucky, so I was like, okay, I'll read a book about Kentucky hot guys. I mean, you know, my boyfriend did grow up on a farm with horses and stuff, so just saying. My one wild card of this contemporary romance haul is A Caress of Twilight by Laurel K. Hamilton. And I mainly got this because I have the first book of this series, and I found the second. So I was like, oh, well, I'll get it. Someday I'll read it. But I had the first book already. I was gonna unhaul it, and then someone talked me into not unhauling it, so I still have it. So I figured, okay, you know what, in for a penny, in for a pound, I'm gonna like keep going with this series. Also, I just haven't read anything by Laurel K. Hamilton, which is ridiculous because she is such like a huge name. She's written so many paranormal romances, and like, I've been hearing about her even before I had ever read a romance novel before. So it's crazy that I haven't read anything by her, so hopefully I will finally read some of her stuff. 4. Okay. Whew. It is hot as balls right now when I'm filming this. I'm taking a break for just a sec, even though I'm already done with the filming. It's just really hot. Let me know in the comments down below, what are some of your favorite contemporary romances? I want to know, like, which authors are you super into, because these are just a few of mine. Some of these look actually really good. I'm like excited about them. Okay, I'm feeling better now. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!